This is a train wreck that everybody's watching slowly. It'll unfold fairly quickly. I think in 2 years it's going to be tragic. And I was astounded that the richest man in the world, the guy who's probably got more going on in technology than anybody else, is sitting in a design review. You know how many CEOs I've seen in design reviews? None. I have seen 0 CEOs ever participating in a design review, ever. They wouldn't know what to say. They wouldn't know what was going on. Do you know what happens when you contradict a CEO in a meeting? I mean, it's instantaneous. Your career is over, period. When you've got that kind of flow, and then what's Elon's edict to his people? Chain of command is too slow. Just get the job done. I mean, really? I mean, this is strategic.
Hey, I'm Stephen and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So in today's video, Sandy Munro exposes some of Tesla's biggest secrets. And the biggest surprise of all is many of these have nothing whatsoever to do with engineering. These comments come from a great recent interview from the guys over at Now You Know, link in description to the full interview, and I'm going to be sharing some of my thoughts and comments along the way. Before we get too much further, I just wanted to have a quick look at Tesla stock, closing at just over $1,050 per share for the day, up over 4%. I wonder, did Elon Musk sell any Tesla stock today, or is he taking a bit of a break? Let me know your guess in the comments below. If we look at the total volume of Tesla stock for the day, 26.45 million, very close to the 3-month average volume. So I suspect that if Elon did sell, wasn't a huge amount today. At this point, it seems like Elon is about halfway done in terms of selling Tesla stock. We'll see how things continue to play out. And let me know in the comments below, what price do you think Tesla stock will close 2021 at? If you love crypto, stocks, and free stuff, or just want to help out the channel, check out these great offers. BlockFi are launching the world's first Bitcoin rewards credit card. People in the US can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase with no annual fee using the BlockFi Bitcoin rewards credit card. Check out the link in the description. And for a limited time, you can get up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description. And if you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $300 just for opening an account. And if you make an initial deposit of $5 or more, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $2,000. Seriously. Free stocks? Yes, please. And finally, if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also linked in the description. Thanks so much for your support, guys. Let's get back to it.
So then how did Tesla get so far ahead? You know, if they have American workers who, don't have maybe exactly the same work ethic as Chinese workers, how can they be so far ahead?
Well, the easy answer, of course, is they have Elon Musk. Elon Musk does not have an MBA. He is a technocrat extraordinaire. He knows technology. He gets excited about new things. I was in a design review with him, and I was astounded that the richest man in the world, the guy who's probably got more going on in technology than anybody else, is sitting in a design review. You know how many CEOs I've seen in design reviews? None. I have seen 0 CEOs ever participating in a design review, ever. They wouldn't know what to say. They wouldn't know what was going on.
This is definitely one of Tesla's biggest secrets. A lot of people think Elon Musk's some weird guy, he's a bit eccentric, yeah, whatever. They fail to recognize he is one of the world's best, if not the world's best engineers. Now, I've made this point in the past, and there's always a few people with fairly small brains in the comments.
Stephen, he's not even close to the world's best engineer. You're a fanboy, you don't know anything. It's the people that work for him that do everything.
Obviously, Tesla and SpaceX aren't a one-man show. Elon Musk has an army of brilliant engineers working under his leadership. But at the end of the day, Elon Musk is driving both of these companies forward. He's making core engineering decisions. He's the person with the vision to apply his first principles physics thinking, think about engineering problems, think about what's possible, set plans in action, and pursue them aggressively. The single most critical factor in the success of both SpaceX and Tesla is Elon Musk's brilliance as an engineer. That's not to discount the fact that he's a great leader, he's great at recruiting talent, blah, 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 blah. But unquestionably, the number one factor is his engineering prowess. This is why Sandy Munro is so impressed by the fact that he's not only sitting in on engineering meetings, but making core decisions and understands the product, the technology from the atoms up.
And yet here we are talking about a rocket engine, and I have worked on rocket engines and a lot of them, and people making suggestions, and Elon said something, and they said, oh, come on, Elon, that won't work, blah, blah, blah. This is why a formula this long that I never heard of before. And, Elon says, oh, yeah, you're right. Son of a, yeah. Okay, all right, forget that. What else have we got? Do you know what happens when you contradict a CEO in a meeting? I mean, it's instantaneous. Your career is over, period.
Can confirm. Back in the day when I was still someone else's bitch, aka I had a job, my very first job actually, the very first formal warning I ever received was a result of me contradicting the boss in a meeting. Apparently he got so butthurt that I questioned his authority that I received a formal warning. 2 more of those and you're fired. And by the way, I eventually did get fired from that job. I must be a slow learner.
When you've got that kind of flow, and then what's Elon's edict to his people? Chain of command is too slow. Just get the job done. I mean, really? I mean, this is strategic.
This is another great point from Sandy Munro. For those of you that don't know, Elon Musk sent out an email years ago to Tesla saying, guys, f*** chain of command. If you need to solve a problem, go directly to the person you need to speak to get it done. We don't care if they're senior, they're your manager, blah, blah, blah. Don't care. Just fix the problem. This also hits incredibly close to home in my second and final ever job, which I only got 2 formal warnings at. Didn't get fired from there, I quit, but I was pretty close to getting fired anyway. Very early on, I got taken into the boss's office for jumping through the chain of command. We had some very heated discussions. There was so much wasted time. It's a long story. I won't bore you guys with the details, but I saw so much room for improvement there, so many inefficiencies. But of course, because everybody working there was 10, 15, 25 years my senior, I obviously didn't know what I was talking about and should just shut up.
This is like in World War II, the Polish had the best cavalry on the planet. And it's really inexpensive to feed a horse and give a guy's a pointy stick, right? The best cavalry, lancers, and yet it only took about 15 minutes for the Panzer tanks to crush them like bugs. Why? Why did that happen? I mean, after all, they were the best in World War I, and we're only looking at maybe, 5-10 years later, and here they are, flattened out by a bunch of German tanks. What happened? They decided to sit still. They decided that, we're very good at this. Let's just stay at what we know the best.
Another razor sharp point here from Sandy Munro. In business, if you stick to what you know, if you stay comfortable, if you keep doing the same thing that's been working in the past, you will inevitably get disrupted and ultimately go bankrupt. In fact, in life, if you stay comfortable, never leave your comfort zone, just keep doing what you've been doing, never take risks, you are doomed to a life of mediocrity. If that's what you want, go for it. Personally, not for me.
And you know what we call that in MBA language? That's called core competency. Focus on core competency. It's a good idea as long as the world doesn't turn. When the world goes and stops, then core competency will work out. You'll be happy. Until then, anybody that doesn't move is a Luddite. Luddites are people who hate technology. And in 1811, they started smashing looms because they saw this as taking away business from other people. You're stealing my job, so I'm going to break your loom. I don't want to have automation or whatever, all right? Well, guess what? That was the Industrial Revolution, and too bad. You're going to get left behind. And we've got a ton of people that are in the exact same position right now, and tragically, a few of them have made it to positions of authority and on and on.
Sandy Munro couldn't possibly be talking about any of the pillocks currently in positions of seniority at legacy automotive manufacturers, could he?
I'm worried about the United States. I'm worried that they're sitting on their hands too much. I'm worried that they're not making strategic decisions. They're making tactical decisions, as a rule, just to appease Wall Street or maybe get their name in the paper.
I definitely agree about appeasing Wall Street rather than making the necessary decisions in business. The vast majority of legacy automotive CEOs probably kind of had a bit of a hint about what might be coming, but lacked the testicular fortitude to actually make the necessary decisions, i.e. invest aggressively 10 years ago, 5 years ago, transitioning their company as fast as possible to all electric vehicle production. Instead, they're lagging behind. Why? They're scared their investors will get pissed off because they're not going to be producing huge profits every quarter because they need to invest staggering amounts of money. Well, guess what? Over the long term, the investors are probably going to be even more mad because they're going bankrupt, and these investors will own stock that eventually becomes worthless. In fact, today, let's be honest, it already is worthless, but the stock market hasn't quite figured that out yet, in my opinion.
One of the examples that came out in the press here in Detroit was something from John McElroy. He's kind of like a local favorite here. And he said the Tesla deal with Hertz is a giant embarrassment to the Detroit Three. Okay? The traditional automakers have never seen anything like that ever before. Never. And that is a good indication of what's going to be coming down the road. They don't get it. They're still frozen in time.
Frozen in time? Accurate. In fact, I might take it a step further and suggest a couple of the big three are actually living in the past, which is even worse than being frozen in time. The big three companies, GM, Ford, and Chrysler, I personally think that it's quite evident at this point in time. General Motors are far and away the most fucked, and Ford are the least fucked, but in either case, they're both going to get absolutely reamed. It's not going to be pleasant. Better than even odds that they're both bankrupt before the end of the decade. Chrysler probably going out of business as well. Ford, at least with Jim Farley, are starting to acknowledge the lead that Tesla has, the fact that they can learn from Elon Musk. Jim Farley even considering having a chat to Sandy Munro to learn a little bit about electric vehicles and the transition. Meanwhile, Mary B.S. Barra is out there spouting drivel, claiming that they're going to catch up to Tesla by 2025 without actually having a plan to do that, outright lying to people in the media, in my opinion, and just plain old misleading investors and steering the Titanic inevitably towards a cataclysmic iceberg. Why is it that Tesla's market capitalization, the valuation of the company, is, quote, worth more than every other automotive manufacturer combined, blah, 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 blah? It's quite simple. Odds are that because they've been doing nothing, staying comfortable, weren't taking any risks, didn't see the tsunami of disruption and change coming, that the vast majority of the world's legacy automotive manufacturers will literally be going bankrupt before the decade ends. And which company is standing by with mop and bucket ready to absolutely clean up? That, of course, would be Tesla. This is once again why I'm literally all in on Tesla stock. And just a reminder, if you'd like your own, I'm all in on Tesla stock merch. Check out the link in the description or the card in the corner. There's shirts, there's hoodies, there's long sleeves, there's mugs, there's phone cases, there's plenty more. Check out the link below.
They're still frozen. In fact, I don't know if you heard, but Nishta is also going after Chrysler for diesel problems. There are so many things that are going on that is such a dichotomy. So many things that seem to be going in the opposite direction. It's really tragic, but this is a train wreck that everybody's watching slowly. It'll unfold fairly quickly. I think in 2 years it's going to be tragic.
This is a big call from Sandy Munro. I mean, not the part about seeing a slow motion train wreck. If you've been watching the channel for the last couple of years, you'll have heard me say this from day one. But big call there in suggesting that the true carnage, the absolute chaos and destruction, is likely just about 2 years away from where we are today. And personally, I think this is about right. In a couple of years, Tesla will be making a few million vehicles every year, making gigantic profits on every single one of them, printing tens upon tens of billions of dollars of pure profit every year. They'll have released or be just about to release the $25,000 vehicle, aka the thing that literally ends the ice age. And legacy automotive manufacturers will still be floundering around like complete and utter morons, scrambling to start implementing their transition to EVs while Tesla continues to eat their lunch and take a shit on their face at the same time. And speaking of just 2 years into the future and this inevitable train wreck, I highly recommend you guys and girls sign up to Patreon with the card in the corner or the link in the description if you want access to my Tesla stock price targets, bear case, base case, and bull case all the way out to 2031. I think some of you might be surprised at how high these actually are in just the next couple of years. If you can't be bothered or you're a broke-ass motherfucker, that's okay. I can explain fairly simply about what I think is going to happen. While the train wreck is occurring over here, we have a rocket launch occurring over here. Make of that what you will. So I hope you guys and girls have enjoyed today's video. There were some great insights here from Sandy Munro relating to Tesla, and they weren't specifically regarding engineering. This was really talking about Elon's leadership, Some of the major errors legacy automotive manufacturers have actually made by staying still, getting comfortable, and failing to innovate. The corporate structure within Tesla, the lack of a chain of command, the efficiencies of the company, the 420 IQ strategic decisions Tesla is making versus the 69 IQ tactical decisions of legacy automotive, and also some words of warning about just how close this gigantic train wreck really is. And just finally wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody for supporting the channel via the merch store. The most recent design, I'm all in on Tesla stock, has now sold almost 100 units. Thanks so much for the support. You can grab your own with the link in the description. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan, this is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card where you can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase. There's a link in the description. You can also earn up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, also linked below. And finally, don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake, also linked in the description. These great offers also help out the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.